Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another day of Be Agile Scrum. We are learning Agile Track, Agile Scrum. So we have learned so far many things when it comes to Agile and Scrum. We have learned about Agile principles, Agile values, Scrum values, and also saw the few of the roles. And today we will be taking a deep dive towards ceremonies. What are those? So I'm glad to have Wilson as a new member over here in the group. So Wilson, welcome to Guru Schools. So as a part of Kickstart, always what we do, we request a new member to introduce themselves along with their background and what they are doing and from where they are connecting. So Wilson, would you like to quickly introduce yourself and then we'll start?
All right, thank you. My name's Wilson. I live in Dallas, Texas, and I work here in Dallas too. And I just joined. I joined Guru School couple weeks ago, with an interest of pursuing the BA Scrum, uh, job because I've been in this industry, and I did my data analytic course, and I started working as a reporting analyst with a company here in Richardson. So my bachelor is in marketing, so it doesn't have anything to do with BA nor Scrum or data. But I got the interest of pursuing BA Scrum because of the fact that I've been working as a reporting analyst. I thought I would go into a higher level, and that would be BA. I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay, Wilson. So one more thing, are you already working somewhere as a business analyst? What you are doing currently?
No, I'm not working as a business analyst. I'm working as a reporting analyst. But I wanted, I'm a Scrum certified, so I thought I would. It was hard for me to get a job because of the fact that I didn't have experience. So I thought maybe joining Guru School would help me gain the experience. Maybe, you know,
Sure.
sharpen up my skills
Okay.
and be able to go to the next level.
Sure, Wilson. So you are already into IT right now, but you want to
Yes.
switch into a BA or Scrum Master. Awesome. Welcome to Guru Schools, Wilson, and thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, so because you are already aware of all those things, the basics things, what we will be covering over here, definitely you are here, Tejaswini is here, and mm, Komal. Yeah, Komal. So try to, you know, change your name when you join. Otherwise, I'll keep on
Yeah,
calling
yeah.
your daughter's name. Okay.
No, like next time I will definitely change it.
Okay, no problem. Let me this time do it for you. Otherwise, I'll keep on calling your daughter's name. So
No.
that will be fine. So all right. So I think someone is at the door. Let me see who is done. So Komal, I changed your name, I guess. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So Wilson, you have already background. Welcome to Guru School. So we have other participants with us. There will be another co-trainer, Prerna. So Prerna would be not joining today somehow due to some health issues. And so the core intent is not learning over here. Okay, so learning is just a step over here, and using that we will be part of IT in few weeks after we complete this, once we also continue RRP session. So as a matter of fact, everyone is aware here that we are here with only one core intent, that is our goal to get placed, and such goals requires to be protected. What exactly happens when you have goal and you are getting away from it? Only one thing can bind you with these goal and make it as your target, and that is called, we call it as code of honor, that we are going to look at it today. I hope you have gone through all the recording, Wilson, and by now you are aware what is code of honor. Have you gone through that, Wilson?
Yes, I have. I have.
Thank you so much. And along with you, everyone else is already knowing Tejaswini and Komal. So I'll straight away get into naming them and then we'll start with the declaration. So everyone is ready for this? Yes,
Yes, girl.
Tejaswini, call
Yeah.
me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
yes. Thank you. So here you see on the screen are six core values. Let me quickly unpack them, unfold them, and get started. The number one says that showing up live and you are here in the live session. So what it says that being on time, remaining punctual, and remaining highly committed will let you practice. Once you get placed and become the part of all the ceremonies, you will be able to reciprocate over there. Why? Because how you do anything is how you do everything is called as universal law that will keep you in practice already about it. Second one says is this: being a full stack student because you are starting your journey with Guru schools by following the very first pillar, which is called as the instructor led free training. And when it comes to free training, even though you are really highly educated, you are really working in you might be working as a teacher somewhere, but the moment it comes to learning, you become the student as well. But here in Guru schools, we ask you to just not to be the student, be the full stack student, so that you can do all the assignments you are asked to do, you do all the self research whenever you are asked to do, and repeat whatever you have learned. Self research is very important part, because in 8 weeks the this is the subjects are just like a vast ocean. Okay, so in 8 weeks, when it comes to teaching, no one can teach you everything, all the ocean in a day or 8 weeks. So whatever you are learning apart from this on the very subject, you are immune to go ahead and do your own research. Okay, so always do self research work as well. You have been given the days, how days are divided, that is told you already, that how Monday is how Sunday is for your technical day, Monday will be assignment day, where whatever you will be learning on Sunday, that you need to summarize within a minute or two, small summary, so that you will be caught in the eyes of all the recruiter when it goes and placed with your confident summary in front of HRs, or the recruiters who will be the recruiting agency associated with Guru schools. And that will be part of your Monday, and then Tuesday you go with another technical session. And also parallelly, everyone has to attend RRRP session, even though it is repeated, because there you show up, and your visibility creates credibility, and then it increases the chance of marketability of your profile or candidature. Okay, and then comes Wednesday again, you do the assignment which is asked in the session to do. And then Thursday you again do RRP session. On Friday, this is the day when you need to do self research, and Saturday becomes the breather day for you. And then comes repeat whatever you have learned, that you have to do every time, as a part of putting back the summary sessions. Okay, the very next day after the technical learning. Third one becomes the taking the full responsibility, and when you will be doing these all on repeated basis, definitely you are going to attract success. It means immediately after completing the certification, or even in parallel, you will be your chances become go higher to get placed. And when you really don't do that, and we have seen that uh, people, not everyone is enthusiastic when it comes to giving from your end. Receiving is quite easy, but when it comes to giving, many people don't even take care of this thing, and they have not seen the result. But when people who are receiving and also in return they are giving, they have seen this path towards the success. And the moment you know this reality, and you take the responsibility of the failure as well, then there are chances you may correct it. Otherwise, even not taking the responsibility of it, you cannot correct it. And this, when you correct it, it becomes simply the trail of the success. Okay, it is just not a failure then. Then comes the fourth one is mindset on this learning. When you can do, when you can take the responsibility, and when you can do all the assignment on this path, you are asked to come here with the learning mindset. Even though you are knowing a lot, coming back with the learning mindset may leave you back with many aha moment for those what you already know, and that make you more positive. And when you are positive, there are chances that you go complaint free, so that your horizon of mind is more open towards the new learning. And when that is going to happen, I always request every one of you to go in gratitude mode, so that that may help you to attract more towards when it comes to getting placed and more of jobs. So for doing this, you must start your day with highly increased receptivity. How do you do that? For that, everyone is requested to ask me an audio track where 30 days of assignments are given by one of the speaker. The speaker is from very old days, in from ancient time, and the audio was broken, so I had to record his message in my voice, and I had to distribute it with all the students. So whoever asks, they get it. And this is called as the strangest secret. So second one is, so in case you are not doing it, you are not practicing it, you are supposed to practice it for 30 days. In case you don't have this after the session, definitely ask me. A few of you have asked, and in case you have not, go ahead and ask it after the session to from me, and practice it every single day. This is how you should start, and this is how I even start my days. So that is one. Second comes to this: learning does not go ahead just simply by learning. Much more things has to go before it, and that is called as the golden quadrant of learning, which starts with the declaration with the anchor. By now you know what is the definition of anchor, and anchor has to be backed by the declaration that you are going to utter today with me. Then get into the deep learning mode, and whatever you have learned, you must draw within 24 hours on your piece of paper, so that you can present when you are going to summarize within a minute or two in front of mirror or in front of a camera lens. Okay, and share in the group, so that based on analysis that how much improvement you would require, you would be shared the feedback personally. And then what happens, the based on improvement, your summary go ahead in front of the recruiter, that how confident you are, and from there you might be picked up for the by vendors and for client interview as well, once you complete the RFP session. I hope this is clear to you and you are ready for the declaration. Everyone is ready for the declaration? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, Gaurav.
Yes.
Awesome. So on the count of three, we are going to give it an anchor. Anchor is nothing but a self clap, that is high five, just now you heard. So at the count of three, clap and repeat after me on the screen what is selected. One, two, three, clap. I am a quick learner.
I'm a
I'm a
quick
quick
learner.
learner.
When others can learn and master, what
When
what others can learn and master,
What
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 others
others
others can
can
learn
can
and
learn
learn
and
master,
and
master,
master,
I too can do that.
I
I
too
too
can
can
do
do
that.
that.
do that.
And once again, anchor, one, two, three, and anchor, because I'm an awesome learner.
Because I am
Because
an
I'm
Because
awesome
I'm
a
not,
learner.
not, not someone.
Today's learning is going to be super duper easy to me.
today's
Today's
learning
learning
is
is
going
going to
to
be
Going
super
to be
duper
super
easy to
duper
me.
easy
easy.
to me.
And yes, it is going to be super duper easy to you, because you just now said so. And remember, on this path of learning, when you decide that once you get placed and start earning, to continue doing that, you must keep your ego away. Then you can enhance your power of learning further. And that also keeps you spiritually grounded on the path of growth. When it comes to spiritually grown, it means your happiness level will continue to grow, and that is today's productivity. That is what even its and any corporate demands today, so that you can give more to receive more. Okay, and while this is all happening, everyone is requested to have an intent of charity. If you already earning, then you must start doing some charity when it comes to money. 5% or 10% giving away, excuse me, giving away sets a very important milestone for others, and when it comes to giving, it is also called as a universal law: when you give you grow, when you receive you survive. So when you are already making money, try to understand that give 5%, giving 5%, 10% away towards the society will make you more humble and more prosperous. So just don't give it away for earning more, because you know now the secret. Give it now doing charity, through charity, to inspire others as well. And while you are doing so, remember to appreciate that, and appreciate what others do for you. And even something doesn't happen, remember that every step is preparing you for the next better step. So that's the reason. Keep appreciating even what doesn't happen to you. And other universal law says that what you appreciate appreciates you back. Considering these all, kindly follow these ground rules as a code of honor, so that your recruitment as in the corporate of America and IT is completely well taken. So on this, what we are going to do, we are going further towards today's learning. I hope everyone have remembered by now this diagram. Everyone remember it? Last session.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
Right. So here you have seen how the 4 different type of sprint ceremonies are there. I would like you to request and remember the sprint planning. This is the very first ceremony. Why ceremony? Because it has not to be monotonous and boring. Okay, it has to be celebrated. So every single sessions, in fact, every single meetings has to have to be celebrated by all the scrum participant, all the agilist, or all the project members. Okay, so I would like someone to request to read this. So Wilson, would you mind reading this, what you see on the screen, please?
Yes. Ceremony. Sprint planning.
Kindly read. Yeah.
Purpose: create the sprint backlog and identify the sprint goal that the entire Scrum team is committing to over the course of the sprint. Attendees: the entire Scrum. Do I read the tips and tricks?
Please go ahead.
Tips and tricks: encourage the team to discuss and negotiate each item related to sprint goal. Sketching can be helpful. Ensure the product backlog have been ordered, completed by the product owner before sprint planning begins. Once the sprint goal is set, it can be broken by the product owner, but should remain relevant throughout the course of the sprint.
So I'm not able to hear further. Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see further.
Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. Give me a moment. Check my audio.
I think you need to scroll down a little bit.
Okay. Okay, can you see this further?
Yes,
Yes.
I can see it.
Okay, please go ahead.
All right. Do not let this meeting go longer than 15 minutes.
Okay,
Ensure that
that's it. That's it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Wilson. Thank you so much. So just now you have seen that we have been talking about, sorry, okay, sprint planning we have been talking about. And the last one is from different ceremony. And we will be focusing just now for a while on sprint planning. So any sprint, and let me ask you this thing. What is sprint, by the way? What do you remember when it comes to sprint? What is this? Sprint, what do you remember? Anyone? I'm not asking the sprint planning. What do you mean by sprint? And this is an interview question as well. So far you have learned so many things.
Sprint is time duration.
Exactly. And who said so? Komal, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, so round of applause for responding this. Everyone can do that. What you appreciate appreciates you back. Yes, exactly. Komal said it right. So sprint is the time duration, and the moment the any sprint starts for a project, the very first thing comes is called as sprint planning. What is sprint planning? Sprint planning is the very first milestone where we talk about all the goals. So as you read here, while Wilson was reading, he talked about sprint backlog. So creating the sprint backlog and identifying the sprint goal to enter Scrum team is committing to over the course of the sprint. Okay. So how do you do that? So when it comes to sprint planning, let me go back over here. Okay, you see here sprint planning has happened. These bricks or these slices, okay, are nothing but a small pieces of the same requirement which has been pulled from this list. Can you see that this list is bigger?
Yes.
Yeah, and this bigger list together is called as a product backlog, because together you are delivering at the end is a product. But when you are prioritizing them on the very first day, even before your sprint start, is called as a sprint backlog. When you have prioritized them together, say for example, there are total 50 requirements or 52 requirements you need to deliver, and you pulled from 52 requirements, 4 requirements out. Okay, how many remaining? 48 will be yet called as product backlog. However, those 4 which you have pulled on during the start of sprint will be called as what? Sprint backlog.
Print backlog.
Exactly. So it will be called as sprint backlog. And sprint backlog is identified as a result, what you are listening into in the sprint planning meeting. Clear, everyone? What is sprint backlog and when it is identified?
Yes.
So
Yes.
here product owner, what it does. So when they identify, when he identifies with the discussion of the team, 4 important backlog item, what we are going to deliver together, he may sketch it out. Okay. And now you have explored few tools like Jira by your own. So in those tool, what happens? These 4 backlog items can be written it down in a line or 2 or 3. Okay, or for support, some documents can be also attached. Okay, that these are the functions of these 4 items. Are we clear so far over here, whatever I said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for
Yeah.
clarity purpose, with the presence of business analyst, everyone discusses it, every single requirement, to understand in short that what is it all about. Okay. And when it comes to discussion, we make sure, in fact, product owner has to make sure that this is in the sequence in order. Okay. It is complementing each other requirement, which we are calling at a sprint planning. Okay. And once it is set, that at the end we are going to see it functioning well, because by now you have learned that what does agile means working software that you are going to deliver. So these 4 backlog items should be in process and should be functioning well. Are we clear over here, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So this is how, as a team together, we discuss, but before that, it is prioritized. And before prioritization, it is pulled by product owner from product backlog stack to the sprint backlog stack. Okay, so sprint backlog, how that's how it is called. Let's move to the next ceremony. So when it start at the, when it happens, sprint planning, just now I said, when it
I
happens.
think the
At the beginning or mid or at the end of the
at
sprint?
the beginning.
At the beginning. Yes, thank you so much for your answer. So it happens at the beginning. Then second comes when it has begun, and everyone knows in sprint planning what else happen. Every member, now four people are there. Business analyst is there, developer is there, and who testers are there and architect are there. So what exactly happen? Everyone will come together and they will say, hey, the first item I'll be developing, and some other developers say second item I would be developing, third I would be developing, and everyone will be contributing by themselves, because this you have to be open and courageous to choose it as a part of Scrum value. Do you remember Scrum value, what you learned earlier? Courage and openness are two different Scrum value as well. Do you remember that?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yeah. And in way, when you take it, so you are received one of the courageous person, and you, as a agile and Scrum does not require any dependency or any leader, and that's the reason it is called as a self-organizing team. And you yourself is showing your own leadership, and you are demonstrating that you are self-organizing, and that's the reason everyone is requested to pick their piece by themselves, and by contributing and by volunteering to your own choice. What you are doing, you are picking up one of the requirement. And in the similar manner, tester would say I would test this piece, second tester would say I would test this and this. And in case architect is there, he is working on integrating two different communication channels, like two different pieces from where one module of the project can interact with other module. He might suggest that, or say that I would be developing this, and a business analyst may say that okay, I'll start working into the requirement generation, adding more document and more drawing for these piece of the requirement. To requirement I would be adding some another assisting business analyst would say I would be helping to XYZ person who is business analyst, or another senior person or junior person or the peer person would say I would be working on these two pieces. So do you understand how everyone is contributing in sprint planning and taking their own piece, and declaring that I am responsible for this sprint backlog item? Is it clear now in sprint planning what exactly happens?
Yes.
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 Yeah. Now everyone has picked their item, and every day they have to work. And when they have to work, how long they will work? Do you know? When it comes to hours, every single hour, how long they have to work in general? So any guesses?
8 hours.
8 hours. That's right. Who said that? Shakil, is it you or
I say
Wilson?
that.
Wilson. Okay, so round of applause for Wilson. It is his day one. Yes, you rightly said that. So 8 hours. And why 8 hours? Because you have to mention every single day how was your last eight. Last eight means last 8 hours. Okay, what did you do in that? And what you are going to do in your next eight. Next eight means next day or next 8 hours, what you are going to do. And is there any bottleneck or any problem or any impediments are there to start or commence your next act? Are we clear with this, everyone? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is simple.
Yes.
So I would like to request someone to read this ceremony daily scrum. So who want to go first? The more enthusiastic may shout out his or her name. Who may go first?
I want to go.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah. The ceremony is daily scrum, which is like daily stand up. The
Mhm,
purpose is provide the scrum team an opportunity to discuss progress, announce
mhm,
daily commitments, and identify impediments, which should be cleared by the scrum master. Then attendees like scrum master and production team, product owner, and outside stakeholders are optional. Then tips and tricks are like be sure the team can see each other. If you're remote, use a video conferencing tool. Don't let this meeting turn into a verbal status report. Encourage team members to get together after the daily scrum to discuss any items that require additional conversation. Do not let this meeting go longer than 15 minutes.
Wow, thank you so much, Tejaswini. Big round of applause for Tejaswini as well for sharing this. So yes, so daily scrum, as Tejaswini rightly read it, so it has to be attended by every single person involved in the project. However, it remains optional for few people like vendors or project owner or product owner. Okay, so these things are optional for them. And how long this daily scrum is going to happen, how long it will last, apart from Tejaswini, anyone can tell how
Just
long?
15 minutes.
Exactly, you're right, thank you so much. So it is going to be just 15 minutes, not more than that. Sometime what happens, daily scrum turns into long verbal status report, and who is responsible to make it shorter, and who will bring everyone's attention that it has to be concise, precise, and will not exceed 15 minutes. So everyone together, but it is going to be scrum master responsibility to make sure that it is going to be 15 minutes only, because he is the one who runs the show. He is the one who has the responsibility of this. Why? Because every single person time is involved in it. Imagine you come with one issue and everyone started talking about that issue, so that discussion goes not just 15 minutes but 1 hour extra. And imagine there are already 7 people in the room, so how long everyone together wasted? So it's 7 hours extra. Okay, so as a company, no one can afford to waste so many time, because you would have done something else in that 7 hours. That is almost a day. Do you agree with this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it has to be just 15 minutes quickie. Okay. Where you are going to talk about what did you do last time, and what you are going to perform in the next day or next working day or today. Are you facing any issue while completing it? And when it comes to, and it is also called as stand up. What is called that?
Stand up.
Yeah, stand up meeting, not just a daily scrum. So when it comes to stand up, it means you have to stand up. Okay. And you are facing everyone's face to face, and it has to be inside one room when you are working offline. But when it comes to remote working, because of COVID, everyone is considering the COVID guideline, working remotely. When it comes to working remotely, everyone is encouraged in the room. You are connecting through conferencing tool like Zoom, and you are requested to attain it with the video on mode. Okay, and then it is considered as a daily stand up or daily scrum. Do you get this, everyone? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Super. So this is how this ceremony is also planned. So now it's all about Scrum Master's responsibility to how to make this ceremony as actual ceremony. Okay, just not to discuss what went well, what just to not discuss what you did yesterday, what you are going to do today, and what is blocking you from initiating today's work. So just not to share that, but also in case you find as a scrum master, my dear friend, if you find that anyone is willing to state their problem for longer than a minute, or they are focusing on their problem, immediately you as the scrum master are going to request the person to stop then and there, and request them to take this discussion with the concerned BA in offline mode. He might be saying that, okay, I don't understand this requirement, or he might be saying to developer, okay, whatever you have developed is not functioning, and I want to discuss on this. So then other person may say that, okay, I found that it was working in this browser but not in this browser, so I'm not able to proceed on this browser. So I want to discuss. So this kind of discussion, if it requires to be a detailed one, has to go in offline mode. All right. Thank you so much, Tejaswini, for reading this out. Apart from Tejaswini and Wilson, who is another person who wants to grab this opportunity to read sprint review? Shakil or Komal?
I can do that.
Okay, Shakil. Yes, go ahead.
All right.
Wait a second. Yeah, let me
It's
come
okay.
back. Yeah, thank
All
you.
right, sir. Ceremony sprint review, and the purpose is showcase the work completed over the course of spring, gather feedback from stakeholders to inspect and adapt the product. And attendees will be the entire Scrum team plus certain managers, stakeholders, customers, and other developers. And the tips and tricks to conduct this one will be ensure that any outside stakeholders know where they need to be when get the room prepped. The product team should not feel like they are defending their work prep to ensure they are able to shine, capture actionable feedback as items in the backlog.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Shakil, for reading this out for us. So yes, so now it is clear that every single day you are talking about what you did last date, what you are going to do next date, and what is the problem. But after certain point of time, don't you think on certain activity you are talking, I'm working, 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 and suddenly you realize now it is done. It is going to happen, right? Yes, everyone. When you're working, 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 now one day will come, will you say that it is done now? It is completed. Yes or no?
Correct.
Yes.
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 So, and when everything is completed in that time duration for those 4 backlog items, which we have picked as during the sprint planning, one day will come when you are ready and you are ready to demonstrate in front of client that, hey, this is what we have prepared for you. Okay. And when you are ready with your own requirement, ready to deliver, before delivering, what you are going to do, you are going to invite the client and you are going to demonstrate him and showcase them that how it is functioning right now, so that customer can tell you, okay, I take it, or may suggest some advanced advanced what do you call changes. Okay. Change now, it will be the team's product owner's responsibility to consider whether these changes were suggested or these are new. Should we treat them as an altogether new requirement, or it was supposed to be a part of this, but it was somehow missed requirement? Do you get that? So this kind of loophole finding will be done by product owner and BA together, and that is why it is requested that BA and even product owner remains the part of sprint review meeting. Okay, so when it comes to sprint review meeting, in some manner it is demonstrated or reviewed or demonstrated by tester or business analyst, because when it comes to requirement changes or feedback, because the feedback will come from whom? Who will give you the feedback when you are presenting what you have developed?
Either the product owner.
Okay, so many people can give the feedback, but the core feedback will come from customer, because ultimately he has to operate that, right? Do you agree with this?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So customer gives the feedback because he has to receive, he has to use the product. So he gives the feedback and he says, yes, 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 you have developed really what we were looking for, but we want this to be functioning like this. And then business analyst immediately will say, okay, you want it to be in this, but we have read this in the requirement which you have signed off that it has to be working like this, and as you have asked us to do, we have delivered. So he will ask further, did you ask us to design in this way? So he would say, yes, we had asked, but now we are expecting something coming in this manner. That's the reason we wanted you to design it in this manner, and that's why this feedback. So then product owner antenna will go up and he will say, but hey, because we have signed up and signed off these requirement to be delivered, we will be delivering you this, but the change which you are suggesting, it is a complete new change. We will be considering as a new requirement and we'll have to accommodate, and it will involve some commercial. Okay. And we will be talking about that commercial. Let it come through a complete formal way. Instead of straight away getting into it, we will try to accommodate in the new sprint. But before that, let's agree upon this is a new change and it involves some additional commercial. When you agree, we will accommodate that. So then customers say, okay, I get it. And let me also talk to our project manager, okay, our seniors, and then these things will continue. So not straight away, because this is the crucial time when customer is so much excited and he may ask you, if you are developer, you're demonstrating, and customer may enthusiastically ask you, hey, can you do little bit of this change? So that's the reason, product owner requires to be the part of it. That is because of that, business analysts are required to be the part of it. However, they are not the part of it. Then what developer should say then? If it is developer and testers are part of, designer and coder and testers are the part of sprint review meeting, and customer is also there, scrum master is also there, scrum master has to be the part. And that's the reason it is showing that it is a scrum master responsibility that he will look for all the preparation is done. When it comes to scrum master will make sure that there is a dedicated conference room is available for this sprint review meeting. Sufficient chairs are there, markers are there, whiteboard is cleaned up, or remote conferencing tool is available. Its information is shared with all the stakeholders who are involved and want to be the part of this meeting. Why he will take care of everything in detail? Because scrum master is making sure things will work smoothly for everyone, as he is the real protector, or he is the person who is actually also known as servant leader. So he will make sure that you are well protected in a well defined environment where you can present it, and no one is going to disturb you in that environment. So when it comes to developer, and immediately you're presenting to me as a client, and immediately I picked up some point, I would say you as a developer, or tester, hey, can you add this small change? What should you be responding then? Come on, any loud guesses, please.
I mean, as a Scrum Master, you can take the consideration what the client is asking, but with the promise that you will take those suggestion back, our opinion back to a project manager and get back to them.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Shakil. So, thank you so much for sharing this. Yes, you would say, okay, I'll pass this message to our product owner and will say that request has come. And if they feel, they would talk to you. And you don't have to say that, okay, I'll accommodate this change then and there. You may say that, okay, product owner has to be conveyed about it. Could you write a mail regarding this? Okay. So you don't have to just say yes. You have to say, okay, I'll confirm this with product owner. Okay. Why? The moment you say yes, they will expect that you are going to deliver it, but it has to be approved first, then only you can say yes. Do you get it, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And why you need to get it? This is going to be a part of your interview question as well. So that's the reason. Yes.
No, go ahead. I thought you were asking questions. That's
No.
okay.
No.
Okay.
So this is going to be your it can be your interview question, and that's the reason you should be knowing it very, very clearly. Immediately, you don't have to say yes. You have to just say, well, pass this to product owner. And that's the reason, imagine you as a presenter asked to do this, and what you should be doing. your eyes should move towards whom? Scrum Master. Okay, do you get that? And then Scrum Master would say, hey, thank you so much. Say, for example, name of your client is Ted. So, hey, Ted, thank you so much for bringing this up. Me and the name of the product owner will be working on this and we'll get back on this. Thank you so much for suggesting this. So, this is how you can do so. So, are we clear with this, everyone? Archana,
Yes.
Tejaswini,
Yes.
and yes, Komal and Shakil and Wilson. Thank you so much. So I would request now who would read that? Is that Komal who is going to read the last one?
Yeah.
Yes, Komal, go ahead.
Ceremony. Yeah.
Yes.
Ceremony. Sprint re- retrospective purpose. All allow allow the team to inspect itself and plan for improvement in the next sprint. Attendance. Scrum Master and the production team product owner is optional but recommendation. Tips and tricks. Don't allow people to point fingers and play the blame game. Create a safe space for people to provide their honest feedback. Use games and different questions to mix things up and reduce monotony. Make sure any actionable suggestion is captured, assigned, and tracked.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Komal, for reading this up. So yes, so as you see that it is called as a sprint retrospective. Retrospection is the combination of two words. Can you identify them? Anyone? When it comes to retrospective, it is combination of two words. What are those? Retrospective, I am asking about. Any guesses?
Prospective.
So it's a retro as well as inspection. Okay, retro inspection, retrospection. Do you get that, everyone? Yeah,
Yes.
retro
Yeah.
and inspection. The moment it comes about retro, it means in the past. Okay, inspection is means now you will be, working on it. You will be pondering upon it. What happened in the past? Is it easy to understand now? What happened in the past means retrospection. Okay, and what you are going to do retrospection about the current sprint. So now the feedback is done from the client. Client has said yes, deliver it now. So everyone is ready, excited, and ready to deliver. But the moment delivery happens, the entire sprint goes to now client, and you are ready to pick the new sprint. What you are going to together come with the help of Scrum Master in one room and discussing few things. Why? What went wrong? What went well? What we can learn from what went wrong, or from the last sprint we delivered together. Can we accommodate those learning into the new sprint? And you take a note of it. Scrum Master will make sure that everything is well drafted, crafted, and reported inside some like today everyone is like using Atlassian as one of the tool. So Atlassian wiki, okay, is one of the tool. And like Atlassian Jira is there. So Jira is product of Atlassian. In the similar manner, wiki is one of the tool as Atlassian. Atlassian is the name of company. Okay, so Atlassian comes with the various products like Trello is there, Jira is there, wiki or Confluence is there. So inside Confluence, sometime Scrum Master continues to take a note that who is suggesting what when it comes to learning. And then he makes sure that what all the learning comes in here are captured in this worksheet, or in the Confluence or in word processing tool. And then everyone, when they contribute here, what tricky things may happen when you are talking that what went wrong. People are tend to play the blame game. Because of him something went wrong. So we are not going to discuss because of whom what is going wrong, what was going wrong, but what we should take care next time. Okay, and it has to be in very fun manner. Okay. And whose responsibility is to make it in fun manner? Any guesses, everyone? Any guesses? Whose responsibility will be to make it fun, make it game when it comes to discussion on retrospective?
Scrum Master.
Exactly, you're right, Shakil. It's a Scrum Master responsibility to present it in a gamification mode so that everyone would love it and would love to enjoy it and would love to show up next time for this. And in fact, everyone has to show up next time as well. Okay, so some games are arranged for this, and everyone take away their own learning and all, and have some give some high five to each other, and then thereby closing ceremony of this is called as sprint retrospective. Are we pretty much clear that what exactly happens when it comes to a sprint retrospective?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if this ceremony is not even celebrated, okay, this ceremony is not even coded somewhere or talked about somewhere, but still there is a fifth one is not mentioned, is called as done or sprint or cancel. Okay, so done goes in the sprint done chart to release the product increment from product backlog list. Now that what is product backlog is all about. Yeah, so from there it has to be released and passed further. Okay, so what is done, what is definition of done, and what is ready? When it comes to done, before done you have to be ready, so you need to know the definition of done and definition of ready as well. But however, so far you have seen that how sprint retrospective is one milestone where you celebrate and you discuss what you did, what you did not do, and before that you give demo to client, and before that what happens, every single day you meet for 15 minutes and discuss what you are doing, what you have done, and any problem you are facing. But before these all start, it has to be discussed and prioritized in sprint planning meeting. So this go for 2 weeks. 2 weeks as in the entire sprint I'm talking about, in general, because minimum any sprint can be of 1 day 1 week or maximum of 4 weeks, not beyond it. So what should be the generic time duration of any sprint? Who can answer this? What should be a sprint? How long a sprint should go? One
Two
sprint.
weeks. 2 weeks.
So maximum how long it can go?
2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 4 weeks.
Exactly, it's 2 to 4 weeks. So 2 weeks, don't answer 2 weeks. Always answer, because this is an interview question. When it comes to that, how long this sprints are there in your organization? So in generally you will find in your organization is 2 weeks, but generally it has been observed by me personally, wherever I have worked as a wherever I have worked in the product-based organization who are developing a product, not they are giving just a service. So in the product-based company, I have observed that one sprint goes 4 weeks long. Okay, so 4 weeks are maximum. You don't go beyond it. But when it comes to interview, there you can say your experience of 2 weeks, because it is from the service based industry, when you are working as a contract to somewhere, there you will find that it is 2 weeks only. So but again, it does not have to go beyond 4 weeks. And when you will be asked such kind of question, it means the interviewer is checking whether you know that how long maximum you can work in a week, in a sprint. Okay, are we good with this information, that it has not to go beyond
Yes.
4 weeks? Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for your answer. Let's move further now. After this discussion is called is this. So here you see that in sprint planning or scrum planning, what goes inside. So here I'm going to read quickly. So the input, we decide the product backlog, which has to be prioritized. Okay. And because one sprint is now over, we will be again going into the new sprint, right?
Correct.
Okay. So we will be picking up the new backlog items again. And we will also make sure that this backlog item should support the previous backlog items what we have delivered. Okay, we will also work on the products velocity and capacity of the team, development team. What is velocity and capacity of the development team? So how to identify that? As a business analyst or a scrum master, you should be knowing that. I'll be rolling out one small video where I have explained about this velocity and capacity in detail, that how you can identify any velocity and capacity of the team. So this thing, so what happens when you define the velocity and capacity of team? You understand one product or one requirement may take how long to deliver. Okay, how much, how long you need to work every single day for how many days, then this item will be completed. This is going to be the key
And eat it.
understanding. Okay, so I think Shakil, you are talking something.
Sorry, I
Oh,
just couldn't
okay,
mute.
no problem. Okay, no problem. So I thought that you wanted to say something, so that's the reason I paused. So, okay, all right. So this is what we discuss because of velocity and capacity. Are we good? Did we understand about it? What all input comes first? Yeah. What we have to consider before when we get into the sprint planning meeting next time? And then we also, but are we good? What we understood, that what all the input we are picking up? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So now in the sprint planning, everyone is contributing because we know that product backlogs are being prioritized. People will voluntarily come together and say that, hey, we will work on this, I'll work on this, I'll work on this. And how we will do that, they will discuss upon this also. That comes as a in the process part. And then after input, the process is done, then output, we are very much clear on the dashboard. We will be able to see that what at the end we are going to achieve, who is working on that, and the item is converted into task actionable item and is assigned to every single person. And now from next hour, everyone should jump on it and start working on it. It's ready to start. Okay, so this is what exactly we achieve in the scrum planning again. And then so here it is summarized what is sprint in Scrum. So we know that time box iteration of a development cycle. So how does development cycle look like? I'm going to share quickly. However, broken project into small and consistent time interval is nothing but a development cycle. Broken project into small and consistent time interval. When time comes in there, so in consistent time interval, do you also complete some requirement and deliver that? Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone
Mhm.
agrees, right? Okay.
Yes.
So that is the reason it is also called as consistent delivery in a development cycle. Okay, in a consistent time interval. So it has to be as short as few days, like I said, one day even. Okay, because it is very small list. Okay, and as long as 4 weeks. However, the ideal time, as you said, 2 weeks. But 2 weeks, that's what you are not going to say in interviews. In interviews you have to answer 4 weeks. Okay, but excuse me. But when it comes to your personal question, when you would be asked in your company how long, if it is 2 weeks, you can say it is 2 weeks only. Okay, so this is what I exactly wanted to share with you. And then it says that can call a sprint goal a project in itself due to start and finish recorded gaps. Okay, so what exactly happens? Sprint starts with the start date and sprint finishes with the finish date. And that's the reason, excuse me, that's the reason it is called, you can call a sprint in a project in itself. Okay, now let me quickly show you how it would look like. So you see how this is the product backlog. So what exactly happened, I want you to aware of, and Wilson can understand this. So the moment it comes to the requirements, are various requirement, and product owner is breaking it out into small requirement, one liner. He is just lighting it up, capturing it in one of the tool where all the requirements are talked about. Okay, it's in a smaller piece, and you can see that it looks like in post-it tickets. Does it look like post-it tickets, post-it um
Sticky notes.
yeah, sticky notes?
Yeah.
Can you see? So yeah, when it and you also recognize that when I was talking, I did not immediately say sticky notes. I just say posted tickets. Did you notice that? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in IT, when it comes to sticky notes with what you see, so there is something apart from Scrum. It is also as Kanban board. Okay, in Kanban board, you can read physically what is in your to-do list, what is in progress, and what is done. Okay, and the moment one ticket we and in IT, and when it comes to sticky notes, in physical world, we call it as a ticket and will give them as a identification number. Okay, and this identification number sometime can be captured in the dashboard or software or tools like Jira or Trello. Okay, and there the IDs are auto generated. Okay, you can simply talk about those ID. And in this IT world, then people tend to call every single requirement as candidate or ticket. Okay, and that's the reason we just now I called it as a ticket. Okay, did you get it? So whenever you are a part of a meeting and someone is talking about, okay, so this guy we need to move into in progress list because we are working on that, and this ticket will move to done list because we have worked on it. It means that we are discussing a requirement. Are we clear with this? Ticket and candidate when it comes, and then what we are referring to. Are we good with this? Everyone understood?
Yes.
Yeah, super amazing. So now in the sprint backlog, you see that 5 items we have taken and we are prioritizing that. And then the prioritization is done in the sprint planning meeting. Planning is over on the day one, and we move towards the implementation. And the moment implementation start, implementation will happen every single day. And then daily scrum every single day we are discussing for 15 minutes. And then the moment this piece is done in the sprint, we will ask client to come in and get it reviewed. All right, he gives the feedback, and we are delivering the completed feature. So there are team who will be deploying it towards the client location. Okay, while client is receiving this developed feature, in the parallel, the retrospective meeting will go on, where all the team member will be discussing what went wrong, what went well, and what we can learn and what we can implement as a learning into the next sprint. So the moment it is getting over, what happens? So your client has received what you have developed, and it has been delivered to the client, and before delivering it, before it has been deployed, you have marked it as a completed. Every single person involved has marked their work as a completed. Because this was the sprint, one sprint, more sprint are to come, so more such cycle will continue to happen. Do you agree with this? Because this is a bigger project. We have delivered, just talked about one requirement, and when we will continue to do this, how should it look like? This should look like this. Can you see? I talked about one sprint may go for 4 week long. And here you are able to see 4 different sprint, when 4 into 4, 16 weeks of work. Okay. And this is of fixed length. Okay. 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks, or 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Whatever has been decided for the same time duration, every sprint will be looking like this. Okay. Are we clear with this? That what exactly happened in every single sprint, what is going to happen? Okay, can you see yeah, so
Uh,
yeah, you have any questions, Shakil? Please go ahead, ask.
yes. Let's say these are the 4 different sprints. So the project, do we have to go one by one, or a team can work, a Scrum team can work in various sprint at the same time?
No. So as a team, see, understand this is a bigger project, right? And in bigger project, uh, now it is a very good question, I would suggest, Shakil. So a bigger project, and you are dividing into the smaller sprint already. Okay. And this team involves. So I want to also tell you one very important thing, one important information, and everyone listen very closely. So one sprint or one scrum team cannot have more than 9 working professional, maximum or minimum 3. So what should be the strength of any scrum team? 3 to 9. What is the ideal strength of a team member in a one sprint? This is another interview question. What should be your answer?
I
Minimum
would,
how much? 3?
I minimum, if minimum 3 and max is 9, I would say ideal should be 6.
Okay, you are taking average of it, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, but the answer should be, when it comes to interview question, minimum 3, maximum 9. Okay, when it comes to 9 and you have various sprints, you cannot really work in parallel, and that's the reason every single requirement discussed in one sprint has to be completed accordingly. So one sprint by one sprint by one sprint by one sprint. And when it comes to, like, say for example, a bigger project has to be addressed, so there you will find teamlets. What you will find? Teamlets. Okay, so these teamlets become a different sprint team. Okay, different scrum team. So what they will do, they will divide a bigger banking project into two different projects. Okay, say for example, one team will take, today we will be only responsible for cash withdrawal and cash deposit module. However, remaining all the feature will be responsible and will be taken care by team XYZ. Say for example, there are two names. One name is Falcon, one name is Premium. There are two different teams. One is Ultra, one is Premium. So Team Ultra will be taking care of these two delivery, and Team Premium will be taking care of these two delivery. That was pre-decided before even we can launch the sprint. And now Team Ultra does not have to even get worried about what is happening in Premium, and Premium does not have to get worried about what is happening in the Ultra. Now Ultra comes with the only 3 members team, and they will first work only on sprint 1, and then only they will think of sprint 2. They cannot work in parallel, one person on sprint 1 and another person on sprint 2. And same goes with the Team Premium as well. So when it comes to one project, one scrum team, then one sprint has to be completed first, then only they can move to sprint 2. So does it make sense to you, Shakil? In
Yes.
short, yeah, thank
Yes.
you. And everyone is clear with this wonderful question was Shakil asked? Yeah,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you. So that's the reason it is going to be fixed in length. Every single sprint is fixed in length, for completed one by one by one. Okay, that is step by step progress. So the to balance between the need to release rapidly, because it has to be rapid release. Okay, every single sprint has to be finished within certain time, allowing enough time to complete a useful amount of work in each sprint is required. When it comes to enough time, it should not go beyond 4 weeks, as we keep on saying. And once an appropriate length is found, it typically stays the same. So once you find that for this only 2 weeks we need to give, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks, or 1 week, 1 week, 1 week. Okay. So just stay with this message. I'll be back. Someone is at door. I'll have to grab water as well. So just, and you can also grab water if you wish to, but let me come back in a moment. Thanks. Thank you so much for staying back. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yeah.
Thank you, Shakil. And everyone is back here, right? Along with
Yeah.
me. Thanks. Thanks.
Yes.
So let's move further. What we have seen so far. Okay. I'm going to stop screen share and going to ask you, in case if you have any one of you have any question, whatever you have learned so far.
So
Yeah, Shakil.
when we have Scrum teams, who defines that? Whose role is it that these to choose those people as a Scrum team? Is it a product owner or a Scrum master or?
Very good question, Shakil, once again. So you are asking that who will define which team member will work with us, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So it is product owner's responsibility to identify those highly productive team, okay, who all are going to be part of it. Okay, so it's always product owner who will define who all are will be working with us together. So, and for that matter, product owner may always reach out to the resource pool for developer. If it is a developer center of excellence, he may reach out there and will talk to the person who is the center of the excellence, or the head of the practice, so with whom he will just talk and he can take them up. So it is always product owner in this case. Okay, clear, everyone? And this can be another interview question as well. So clear? Yeah.
So if I understand correctly, that product owner defines the team and how many members should be in that team. So he has the option too, that if the sprint is completed, to take those some of those members out of that team and assign somewhere else.
Uh, so you'll have to once again ask me this
Yeah,
question.
yeah. Let's say that there is a Scrum team working on a sprint, like a 6 members,
Mhm,
and that sprint is over. It's completely and it's done.
mhm.
And the product owner realizes that for the next sprint event, he just needs 3 team members. So he can
Hmm.
pull that 3 extra people and assign another sprint.
Yeah. So again, it depends upon what kind of company it is. Okay.
Okay.
So if those members, 3 members are only required, they will continue to work in that. Either if they have been assigned to product owner for, say, for example, because he is choosing from the resource pool, right? And what happens exactly? He has been given those 6 resources from the resource pool for 1 year. Okay. And say, for example, product owner on one fine day finds that now I need only 3. Still he, and when he comes to know about it after, say, for example, 6 months, then what will happen for the 6 remaining months? So for next 6 remaining months, he may utilize in a different project. He can lend those 3 resources for some other project. However, when it comes to the finish line or finish date, what he can do, he can hand over back to the resource pool to those 3 and can announce the release of those 3 resources. So when I take 2 type of organization, one type of organization where resource pool exists, another type of organization where resource pool does not exist. However, every single organization work towards making a resource pool center, okay, from where resources can be picked up.
Okay.
Okay, so is it clear to you and everyone got the answer in parallel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks so much, Shakil, asking this question. Okay, are you into already IT, Shakil, and you are asking this question based on experience?
Uh, no, I used to be in IT like about,
Okay,
I would say 24 years ago,
man.
but I'm a lot in management and training, so that's what
Okay,
I'm asking.
good, good. Thank you so much for asking. This is very useful for every one of us. Okay. So let's move further and understand who all are involved in sprint planning. Because I was talking to Shakil, I would request Shakil to read it out. Initial 3 lines, please.
Sure. Who is involved in sprint planning? Sprint planning typically involves the entire team. A product owner identifies the candidate product backlog items and their relative priorities, as well as proposes a sprint goal.
Thank you so much, Shakil. Yeah. So here we are, everyone clear that entire team has to be there in the sprint planning meeting, because we are discussing very crucial that who will work on what and how. Is it clear, everyone, what we are discussing inside? Yeah. And that's
Yes.
the reason why everyone is needed in this meeting. And here it comes to the priority, that how crucial everything, and first sprint is always crucial, because first sprint is the first impression to the client. Okay. And that's the reason everyone has to be present on time. And when you be on time, you understand the priority of all those candidates, all those tickets, and all those requirements together. Okay. Any question will be asked over here, so that you understand how to achieve it. As you remember, what and how are the most critical items over here in the sprint planning, where you discuss together and get yourself enlightened. All right. So this is why it is very, very important. So just give me a second, everyone. All right. So this is how it was. Uh, okay. So understand now. So the next one. So Komal, could you please read the third bullet point, please?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
team members determine how many of the product's backlog items they forecast they will be able to complete, and determine how they will deliver those product backlog items.
Thank you so much, Komal. So yes, so it's together as a team determine that how many of product backlog items we are forecasting now, that and we will be able to complete it now. Okay, because we have pulled now 4 items from the 52 of the backlog items, and we have to make sure that these 4 items must be delivered, okay, on time. So to deliver it, it might also happen on one backlog item, one person can finish it. However, another backlog item, two teams may require, two members would be required to finish it. Can it be possible or not? It can be, right? Depending upon its intensity and its complexity as well. Yes, do you agree with this, everyone? Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So based on the complexity, one item will be assigned to 2 members, or one item to 1 member, depending upon its complexity. Let's move to the fourth item. So Tejaswini, could you please read the fourth one?
A scrum master or coach typically facilitates sprint planning in order to ensure that the discussion is effective and there is agreement to the sprint goal, and that the appropriate product backlog items are included in the sprint backlog.
Thank you. Brilliant, Tejaswini. Thank you so much. So, as you know now, that it's entirely Scrum Master responsibility to set up the complete environment and facilitate this ceremony, facilitate the sprint planning ceremony. Okay, so that everyone can easily and agreeably go ahead with the defined goal, what they want to achieve together as a part of sprint backlog, which has come from the part of complete product backlog. So this is as simple as, here you understand what is team responsibility, what is product owner's responsibility, and what is scrum master responsibility, and together what they do in a sprint planning meeting. Now let's move and look at this picture once again, where you see that what all scrum planning team will look like, okay, and who all are the part of it. So together, when it comes to product owner, scrum master, and development team does not mean just developer, it means also tester, BAs, and developer. Two tester, two developer, uh, and sometimes two BAs, okay, and one scrum master. All right. So, or say two tester, two developer, one BA, and one scrum master, and scrum master and one product owner. But these BA, testers, developers, architect, these all are together called as development team. Okay. And scrum master and product owner, when gets added towards this, they together called as scrum team, where product owner manages the product backlog and optimizes the value of the product. Okay. Scrum master manages the scrum process, remove the impediments. This is his basic and foundational responsibility, removing all the impediments and hurdles and making all ceremony and things smoother in the project and in the product is scrum master responsibility. And development team will continue to focus on marking every single thing, every increment as done, 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 done. Okay, so we will be looking at the definition of done very, very soon. Now let's move over here. Yeah, so where does sprint planning take place now? Who will decide and how they will decide? So this is going to be interesting for Scrum Master. Let's read through Wilson. So Wilson, can you read the first bullet?
A good location for sprint planning is a team room, so that you have access to all the information about your product backlog, and you can reference and update any information radiators you may use.
Thank you so much, Wilson, for reading this. So yes, the location has also to be identified by a scrum master, but when it talks about team room, and also good location, it means certain board you have to identify where you can have the reference point as well. Okay, and you can continue to update what is going to happen. And when it comes to location and when it comes to room, it does not mean always the physical room. You can be in the conference room, right? And when it comes to location, the location could be your application. It could be your Trello, it could be your Jira, and it can be also your another tool, to name it, monday.com is another famous tool today. Okay, so you keep on updating all those requirements then and there. In case any changes, it should be viewable, and it goes who is getting assigned with what. So every single thing will be clear, but who will be arranging these all? It is going to be arranged by and managed by and facilitated by Scrum Master only. All right, everyone is clear with the first bullet point. We will be moving to the next one. So Tejaswini, could you read the second bullet point? Yeah, Shakil,
Yeah.
do you have any question?
No, no, I don't.
Okay, no one has question. So yeah, go ahead, please, Tejaswini.
Yeah,
Thank you.
if your team is distributed, sprint planning represents a good opportunity to gather everyone together so that your planning discussions can be more effective and to reinforce the person-to-person connection of the team.
Super. Thank you so much, Tejaswini, for reading this. So yeah, so as we were discussing also just while ago, that what if team would be distributed? Okay. So in this planning meeting, what happens? Okay. Now you will be able to see on the board itself who will be working what, who will be taking which opportunity, and together at the end in this discussion, how effectively one person will remain connected with whom. Okay. So if someone is developing something, okay, and who has given the requirement of it, that business analyst is also known. So business analyst name X will be knowing now the developer who will be developing it is name Y, and the tester who would be testing it is named Z. Okay, so XYZ, three people are now knowing each other, and they are very much clear that when it comes to asking the question who has developed this and who has frozen the requirement, we all are clear together to whom where we need to connect. And from there itself, the moment the names are clear, the responsibilities are clear, and the history is clear, who has worked and who is working. So the moment by declaring, everyone is designing the decorum of the team. okay, where they would be sitting. Even this location will be decided based on the how the backlog items are picked. Okay, so in the sprint world, and when it comes to offline world, and when it comes to working together as a sprint member, so this is another benefit of it, that team will work together, come together, and deliver together. Okay, and where they can make this connection inside the sprint planning meeting. Are we clear with this? What is the benefit of this kind of discussion inside the room? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
thank you. So let's move further. And now, who can read it? So just now we are done with Wilson and Tejaswini. So I would request
I
Komal
can do
to
that.
read.
Oh,
Okay, Shakil, you want to do that? Let's.
sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Shakil, first 2 bullets.
All right. When does sprint planning take place? Sprint planning occurs on the first day of a new sprint. The event should occur after a sprint review and retrospective from the previous sprint so that any output from those discussions can be considered when planning for the new sprint. It does not have to occur immediately after those other two events. You will find it's best to place a higher priority on scheduling sprint planning when the entire team is available.
Thank you so much, Shakil, for reading this out. Yeah. So as the very first bullet was read was the first day. Okay, the very first day, the sprint planning has to happen when it comes to sprint commencement. Okay, so you must be sure that first day should be dedicated to this, and this first day will always happen when the previous sprint is over, and previous sprint gets over after discussion of retrospective. Now I want to reiterate very important thing. When you are coming from the scrum world, what may happen to you? Okay, so Wilson, this is especially for you. Okay, because I know that you might be working in the scrum world. Okay, and
Yes.
this is very very important. One organization already practicing scrum and sprint, and their working style is totally different. Tomorrow if you are getting an entry, okay, tomorrow if you are getting an entry to the new organization, you might find they are working totally different way, and the definition of working style is not matching what you have experienced in the earlier world, in the earlier organization. And then thereby you may decide they don't have even the knowledge. New organization people have the knowledge how to work, how to deliver, and how to progress further. Why? Who is talking in that case? Is it what Wilson is talking? No, it's Wilson's prior experience is talking in his mind, because he is trying to compare, and based on that, he might be judging. And this does not just happen with Wilson. This is going to happen with every single person who has prior experience in agile world. And there they forget, because it is also called part of agile. Agile means adaptation. Agile means receiving all those new changes in altogether new way, because they have forgotten, because they have developed a rigid mindset over there by following a previous process which they called in the previous organization as a flexible, and they are not able to adapt the new organization changes. They remain non-flexible, and thereby their previous flexibility is now become the rigidness, and that's the reason they might not be accepting the new organizational structure and change, working in a scrum manner. And thereby it is very common to identify, and you would be talking many of us candidates and employees talking in a different way. They don't follow agile. Man, this is not about following agile. It's all about being agile mindset. The moment you say that they are not following agile, it means you are not following agile, because you are expecting some rigidness, some uniformity in every single organization. This is a very well observed uh, message I'm sharing with you all. Okay, and this is how you may and no one teaches this, and no one tells about it. This has come through experience, how people are with 1 year experience or 2 years experience. when it comes to organizational change, what they may say. And even the very first day when you come here in this training, you might find also that few things are not matching with your experience if you have prior experience, because you have missed the agility about the mindset. And that's the reason it is called as agile mindset. So this is where it goes more interesting. Are we clear with this, everyone? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
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 And this is a very important thing to remember this and continue to remember this. Wilson, do you agree with this? I don't know, Mans, how many organizations you have changed in past.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, thank you so much, Wilson. So yeah, and Shakil has very vast experience, so he might be uh, able to relate what I said just now. Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Yeah, thank you so much. So here it comes, and you will find the best place to define the higher priority and schedule it in the sprint planning when the entire team is available. So entire team's availability is necessary. So now it comes to the last part, final part over here. Komal, could you please read this? The third bullet.
Yeah. Yeah. You may find that is best to have a standing consistent time for sprint planning so that your team can keep that time slot clear from other engagements.
Yeah, thank you so much, Komal. So yes, so here it is very, very important that time for the sprint planning has to be consistent. So one thing which I have not talked yet, so any sprint which you understand is for 4 weeks, then its time also should be in proportion. So you should know that how long that sprint planning should last. Okay, so in that, when you are considering everyone's engagement in terms of time, everyone is involving in that sprint planning discussion, it should not go beyond 4 to 6 hours as well. So if it is a 4 weeks meeting, it will go for 4 to 6 hours. If it is a 2 weeks meeting, the sprint planning will last for 2 hours only. Okay, not more than that. So because you are discussing the entire sprint planning then and there in that room. Okay, so are we good and clear with this? This can be another interview question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, can we proceed further? So we have discussed so far many more things together, and we have come to the mark of the end of it. Okay, many more things to be discussed. I think we can take it up on the next session. Okay, so it's a quite pretty late night at your end as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, so by asking this question, I was just taking your confirmation how many of you were ready to close or ready to continue. So I got the signal that we are ready to close. So thank you so much. And because I was talking to Komal, I would like to invite Komal and ask Komal, Komal, what would you feel like talking about today's session? What do you think? What do you feel like saying after learning the entire things today? What do you feel like saying, Komal? Yeah.
Yeah. So I learned about agile scrum planning, sprint,
Mhm.
and like sprint is time duration, product owner, all about that I learned today.
Yes, amazing. And how did it feel like? Was it easy for you to understand?
Yeah, because I watched the last video also, so like today I got more
Oh,
rather than last week.
okay. Thank you so much, Komal. Komal, to whom would you like to tag now? On the screen, you can see.
Wilson?
Wilson, yes, it was your day one, and I'm thankful that you went through the last video. What do you feel like saying, Wilson, today?
Thank you. Uh, Today I've learned about the process of planning because we first of all defined Scrum and Agile, but now we are the process of planning, and now we're about to go to the next level where we're gonna dive deep into the Scrum and Agile methodology as a whole.
Yes. Wilson, so was that easy to understand for you? Easy to get easily?
Oh yeah, yeah. Pretty much, it's easy because I as I said earlier, I'm a Scrum certified, so some of these things I feel like I'm refreshing, but in a very awesome manner, because I'm getting to, dive deep into every little bit of it.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Wilson. Wilson, whom do you like to tag now?
Uh, Shaquille.
Shakil. Yes, Shakil. What do you feel like saying, sir?
Um, I mean, today's session is honestly, every session is getting better and better, and giving more insight of the all the sessions we are going through, and it's more defining the roles and the principles and their functions and everything, how things work. So it start flowing things in the right direction, right?
Wow. Thank you so much, Shakil. And whom do you want to tag now?
I believe Tejaswini.
Exactly, you're right. Yes, Tejaswini, what do you feel like saying?
Hey, hi Gaurav. Yeah, thank you for the session. It was really interesting. Like, the starting that you teach us about the sprint ceremonies and all, like they were really interesting. And whatever we learned today was very new for me. And looking forward to learn more about the Scrum Master and Scrum Master role, like, more about this altogether.
Yeah. And did you also find it easy to understand?
Yeah. If I go through it once, the video recording and, refer some other notes, like I'll be good. Yeah.
Yes, yes, exactly. And you know what happens in learning zone? So I would like to share one secret before we close it. So how many of you would be interested to know this secret when it comes to learning? Yeah,
Would
everyone?
love to, yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. So, because you asked me, because you said that you would be interested, I'm sharing this. When it comes to teaching and learning, the world today wants to present in a very, very, very complicated manner so that it will look interesting. Okay, and I keep on telling this, and this is no more secret, but open secret. But it is also important, we need to take care of the candidate and make it more simple. Okay, so that it simply make you feel wow, and it should be easy for you to digest, no to go back and think that I will recover and research more in detail. That should give you additional knowledge, not the same knowledge. And that's the reason everyone should take care of this thing, that when you are learning in a simple manner, not in a complicated manner. So always say no to the complication and say yes to simplification. So that's what I just wanted to say. And thank you so much for being awesome participant. And you have been really doing pretty well when you are learning in an easy manner. Thank you so much. I wish to see you again on coming Tuesday night, 9:30 p.m. EST. Till then, have a good sleep. Sleep tight. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. And recording will be made available to you. Bye-bye. Good night. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.